All right, greetings everybody. Welcome to week 70 in the Rise of Obticeo. I started this account January of 2022. We've been updating it every week. Go through all the characters, ships, datacrons, mods, all the upgrades, plans for the future, things that I'm doing with the account, so that people can follow along, comment, ask questions, and have fun along with me. So welcome to the show, and I hope you have fun as well today. Let's take a look and see where we're at as of the start of this week. Kicking it off, we're on week 70. We have 4.58 million galactic power, and we plan to blow that out of the water today. Let's rack that up. We got some good stuff off double drops. We're gonna rock that GP. 33 relics. We're gonna make that at least 35 today. We got 45 Zetas, 7 Omicrons. Squad Arena, CLS is still our best team, somewhere in the top 200. In the fleet, we got the Profundity getting us top 5 placement. Grand Arena, Chromium 2, and the project is going to be boosh for next week. Did some double farms on her during double drops, double, toil and trouble. Nice. Got some good stuff there. The energy farms, I've cut way back. So again, in looking at the new raid system and what that's going to mean for the account, I do fear that the lack of Kyro tech is going to make it harder to keep up with my commitment of placing 1 Kyro every single week. So I am going to take back my shop purchases to basically the computers only and planning to farm all the shock prods. So I'm dropping all of the extra hard farms for right now. Skiff is the only one I really need. I'll see how it works out with Scion and Mara Jade, but we're going to spend a lot of our energy farming those Kyros and make sure that we don't fall behind on our Kyro trajectory. In fleet energy, we're still farming the Sith Fighter. In Cantina, signal data. For mod energy, we'll keep up a split with probably go back to offense mod farming this week. Farm that all week and then farm slicing materials on the weekend. I like that split. It's been working out quite nicely for me. Refresh strategy is still the same, 3 on everything, and then try to get as many as I can in Cantina before I run out of crystals. And the big question that I have to answer myself for this account, to Krayt or not to Krayt, and that's the question, right? So I put in a little, soliloquy here, whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and, crush those like a true Sith. So, yeah, that really, I think it takes quite a lot of contribution for a guild to out-loot the Sith raid, but for myself, we're going for it. We're not just gonna Krayt, we're gonna Krayt hard. I'm gonna build this Jabba the Hutt, and I'm gonna take this entire Jabba the Hutt team to Relic 8. For this account, that might mean buying some arrow magnifiers. I don't know what all it means yet. I haven't sorted it out, but we're just going to keep going after we get Jabba. And we're going to relicate these characters and make a max Krayt team. We're going to have a second Hutt Cartel team. I'll build Embo and Cad so we can fill out a second Hutt Cartel. I've already got Genonite Revan and some of the Old Republic stuff. So, again, I don't know if I'll push that to Relic, but have to at least have them gear 12 and practice with that. Look at the Mando team. But I am looking at building this account into a contribution of around 5 to 5.5 million contribution to the raid. Now, what does that mean for me long term? And again, this is 4 or 5 months out before any of this is even done and relevant. So in between now and then, if my guild decides that they're going to Krayt hard, I'm all in. If the guild decides that they're going to settle for the Sith raid for a certain period of time before they start requiring the Krayt stuff, then, down the road, that'll be a decision for me, and I'd hate to have to leave this guild because it's a bunch of really cool people, and they've been really good to me. But at the end of the day, not only for myself and the guild that I'm in, but I think for a lot of mid-game players and a lot of mid-game guilds, this is going to be a differentiating factor. Do we go for the Krayt raid or not? And I believe that the Krayt rate at 94 is already worth doing, even if you can't hit that 130 mark. By the time you can hit 94, you need to get in there and be doing it every time and pushing your group and pushing your guild to get to that 130 contribution, and then of course there'll be a long period of lull between 130 and 234, I think is the next landmark. So that is a massive jump. But yeah, for a lot of guilds to try to get to that 130 mark. So I will want to be part of a guild that's doing that. And I would love to be part of a guild and help them do that. But yeah, I think once the dust settles, if something doesn't get adjusted in the raid, that's going to be a choice for everybody. And I'm just announcing that my choice for this account right now is going to be that. And that's going to take a huge commitment. It's going to take a lot of resources. It's going to stop me building other stuff for Grand Arena. But again, I think the Grand Arena game mode is old news. I don't think that that's really the key to the success of the future of this account. So I'm planning for the future of the account based on maximizing my raid income, and that's how I'll play it. If I'm wrong, then we will all find that out together. But yeah, here's another little soliloquy, right? Whether we accept our fate or go quietly into the night with the Sith raid, or again to fight to get back into the light. And I think the Krayt raid is where it's at. I think the Sith raid is settling, and I think if you don't want to settle for second best, then you have to do Krayt, which means you have to do Jabba, which means you're either all in or you're not. And I'll put aside anything in GAC, with the assumption that once I get this Jabba the Hutt and put him on the corner bottom zone at full Relic 8 team, that probably that zone is held for a long time till I get to Kyro. So that's the other side of it. I mean, it's a big commitment, but it is also going to be useful for GAC. So again, with our second tier projects, what we're doing, one Kyro on some character every week. We're working on the Jabba. We're not going to deviate from that. We're going straight, only building characters for Jabba until we get him. Jedi Knight Revan, Jedi Knight Luke team is something we might take a look at after that. Sith Triumvirate, Aura Singh, Gas Bounty Hunter team. Those are all stuff that I'm building up in the background, like taking to Gear 12 for future consideration, not necessarily my next journey. When I finish Jabba, I feel like I just have to go grab Jedi Knight Luke as well, because he'll be close. So we'll shore up the Krayt raid and then move on to something else. Or by then, maybe there's a new galactic legend in the game. And I think, I'm saying it right now, and I'll look straight into the camera, straight into y'all's eyes, and I will say, we see how they're building the game. Do not sleep on the new content. Even though it's going to be hard for you, when they come out with a new galactic legend, as soon as they announce the characters, start working on those characters. Finish whatever your journey you're on, and the next thing you do has to be that galactic legend. And it's hard, and I know whatever they pick for relics is going to be inconvenient for some mid-game accounts, but we already see that they're going to chase their new content with new raids, with new stuff. So if you get into the game now, build your first big fleet, and just prepare. Get ready for that next galactic legend announcement, and then that's what you're doing. Unless it's got some crazy requirement like Kiadi Mundi where you just can't access it, or some weird stuff that I really hope they don't do. But yeah, we see the way the game is going, so whatever comes out next, finish the journey that you're on at the moment, and then that's your next journey. And I think that, and by the time you chase that, you'll get a half a year of satisfaction, and you'll have to chase the next thing. It's not so bad. It's okay. When you get a gap in that, then you can go back and chase the old content. The SLKRs and the Rays and the JMLs and all that stuff will have to wait. So you'll get the new content. You'll build up to the point where you're competent for whatever raid system is current and running. And then you'll have a 6-month period where you can build something else and then chase new content again. Seems to me like that's going to be a valid and reasonable cycle going forward. And yeah, it's my prediction on the right way to build an account. Doesn't mean you guys have to like it. And if you don't want to chase new content and you think that sucks, then I'm sorry for you. But again, it's my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right or that you need to follow the same opinion as me, but just sharing my logic with everybody. All right, let's get over here and check out what's going on. We got Dank Ideals in the house. Jar Jar Binks. TK says hello. Irishman says, by an Irishman says hi. Tyler Holt's here. TK says they really need to update the UI for the new guild currency. At least sort it by the currency. Yeah, so here's... I said this in my stream the other day, and there is one redeeming quality. It's not great, but let's say you know exactly what gear it is that you want to buy. You don't have to use the shop. You say to yourself, okay, really, what I want to do with this currency is buy stun guns, right? I'm looking for stun guns, or I'm looking for comm links. So you just come in here to comm links and you say, this is what I'm looking for, this right here. And it'll show you that it's available in the guild store and you can buy it. You have to scroll down for credits. You can't just click credits and find places to go get credits, which stinks. So you have to scroll through the whole dang store, which is annoying. But if you wanted relic materials, same thing. Let's say you knew that you wanted to buy impulse detectors, for example. Pick an R7 character, click on it. This is what I want. Find it, and it will bring up, the availability in the shop, and you can see what there is to buy. So it's not making excuses for the shop UI, but there's a way to get to what you want without being annoyed too much by the shop, or at least that's my idea of it. Yeah, and I hope to just to be clear, I'm in support of your point. The current shop stinks, and we have to find ways around it. So it would definitely be a quality of life thing. Descending Madness says, sweet, get to watch live. Hey, man, thanks. But TK says my next Gear 13 will be number 100. That's awesome, TK. Man, you've passed up the Loquitur account by a good amount then. Yeah, I think I'm on 70 or something like that. 71. So you got a chunk on me now, man. Like 20, almost 30 relics, huh? That's great, TK. Man, I love your account. You got a good account. Assume Get To will go there once Malevolence is done, David James says. Get To will go to Kyro's. Yeah, for sure. Get To right now is already going to Kyro's. So I already made that decision in the short term that for where this account is at and what I want and what I'm doing. I will not get where I want to go unless I buy Kyro's here. So Malevolence is just stuck at 5 stars for now. We started building it towards 6 stars. But we're kind of stuck on 5 because I'm using that currency to buy Kyros. So, yeah, for just a little while, I'm going to do that. I'm satisfied with this. 7-star Negotiator is good. 5-star Malevolence is okay. And, I'll put currency toward that Malevolence here in a little bit. But I've already taken a pause to up the Kyro connection. Tyler Holt says, heck yeah, R8 Jabba, this is the way. Shark says, I think R8 might be too much since the raid will probably rotate out in 6 to 10 months. How long did the Sea Pit last? The Sea Pit was almost what? I feel like it's almost 2 years now. Maybe it's not that long. Maybe it's only been like a year and a half or something. But here's the thing. If they bring in a new raid, in theory, they might leave the Krayt raid. So if I was them, I would build a new raid. But imagine that I built the new raid and then said, okay, Krayt raid stays in. So every 6 months, we're going to introduce a new raid. But every raid is going to be there for a year. So you get to do the Krayt raid for up to a year. When we rotate in the next, raid a year later, then we'll take out Jabba. So you'll have 2 raids. You'll have the most current raid, you'll have the legacy raid that's behind it, and you'll just kind of leapfrog that every time. That would be a smart thing for them to do. Because if I built all this stuff into Jabba and then only got to be in that raid for a couple months, that would be as calm and rational as I am, that would make me really upset. It would make me pretty mad if you only got like a couple months cycle, because this game takes years to build stuff. And literally, if I build Krayt teams, it represents about a year worth of account building to do that. And if I only got a couple months worth of Krayt raid out of it, I'd be livid. I would not make a video trying to calm people down. I would just tell you I'm livid and be mad. So yeah, I think they have to leave the Krayt raid up for longer than just, 6-month cycle. Heretic says, I saw a picture floating around of a 2.7 million score with 4 people. Oh, with only Jabba, Boba, and Boosh. 3. A 3-man team. A 3-man team. Wow, I know that it was a 4-man team was done. Skeltrix was testing a 3-man team today and said it'll take 1 or 2 hours to get the right RNG to be able to do that. Oof. Master Thiffer. First time chatting because I usually catch the stream late. Well, welcome to the stream. Graham says, are you concerned about Leviathan overpowering Fleet Arena and falling behind there? Yes, of course I'm worried about that. Yeah, I am worried about it. And the reason I'm worried about it for like the Obticeo account is because I'm so far out on Malgus. It's just unreasonable for me to expect that I'm going to get Malgus anytime soon. And I haven't been buying the $10 pass, so I haven't been getting the ship. Maybe I should go ahead and start buying the pass on this account so that I can start getting the ship. But even if I get the ship, look where I'm at on Malgus on this account. Malgus. 60 shards, boys and girls. 6-0. So only like the whole character left to build. So yeah, I'm afraid that fleet is going to be really good and that all of the people with money that accelerated their accounts before I did are going to get that in the fleet and I'll get pushed out. Our fleet is weird. These are hyper-competitive people in my fleet shard on Obticeo. They are not the kind of people that reduce their fleet and let you pass so that you can get your placement for the day. This is just cutthroat, man. Some of these guys, they're going to build the best fleet. They're going to put it up top, and they're going to laugh, and they're going to say, ha, 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 you can't beat me. So yeah, I'm very, I don't know if fearful is the right word. I think that might happen. But honestly, if I can make up for it with Krayt Raid, imagine that you can get the 234 box in Krayt Raid. You could drop to top 10 fleet placement, 10 to 5 in the 200 crystals per day range, and not be too sad because you'd be getting compensation somewhere else. But yeah, I definitely don't want that. Sonam says, I'm a guild leader. We're currently at 277 million. We're aiming for Krayt Dragon. The good thing is that everybody will be able to build a team somehow for it. Well, be careful, Sonam. Take a close look at how much it's going to take for people to really contribute to that raid. Because the problem is if you go for that, even if you only go for the 94 million box, people have to make a 2 million contribution each. And 2 million contribution each is no joke. That's 2 Relic 5 teams plus an off team for every single person in your guild. It's a heck of a commitment. So I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I think you should. I think most guilds should require this on some timeline for people to get done. But just realize it's a lot more commitment than just building a team. If everybody in your guild builds a team for Krayt Raid and they get 1.2 million contribution, take that times 50 and you're at 60 million. You're not even close. You got to double that. Everybody has to build 2 Relic 5 teams that can get a full 1.2 contribution just to get you over the 94 box. So just don't be afraid of it. Just be aware of how much you're asking. My current priority order is Jabba, Inquisitor, Leviathan, says Heretic. That's a good build order. That's all stuff that's relevant right now. Whiskey Hoarder says Goat TCO. Nice. Invade Pax Kitty says Darth Loquid are going for Executor. Have a CLS team going well for first GL. Was thinking Jabba. Would need to use Get To on Rolo after I unlock Malevolence. Then about 6 months to finish Hoda and Wampa. So Jabba first is a haul. It's a long timeline, but it's not. I mean, in terms of the game mechanics right now, I'm doing it on Obticeo. I feel like it's the right thing to do, but it is time consuming. It takes a long time because the Jedi Knight Luke journey is no joke. It's 7 relics, and you only get the 1 character for the Jabba journey out of it. So it is a commitment. But you get a lot of good stuff, though. Don't get me wrong. I feel like the Jabba journey allows you to build, a good bounty hunter team around Fennec Shand. It allows you to build the Jabba team itself. So there's good and useful things within that journey. Jedi Knight Luke is a good character. So it's not sadness. Hey, Master THFR says, so aside from Hyperdrive, this is my 2nd time spending on the game. I wonder if you might roast my roster. It's far from build efficient. Sure. Had to catch my code. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do that at the end. So I'm chatting with the chat. I need to get into the account building. I'd like to do the TCO account for people who watch this account update, and then we'll do that at the end. Okay, Master THFR? Sorry to make you wait, but we'll get there. We will definitely get there. I'm going to put your code into my other account right now to make sure that we've got it up and it's not something that will be forgotten. Okay, let's get in here. 853764. Okay, and then we're going to get into account building. That account comes up as Yings. If that's not right, let me know. 565853764. Looks like the right numbers. But yeah, so this is the account that we'll be taking a look at just to confirm and make sure. All right, let's get in there. Gotta quit chatting with chat, or I'll be here all day chatting with you guys and not getting anything done. So let's get in here and make some relics. Greedo, I think, has to go to relic 6. So here we go. Let's go, Greedo. Greedo gets the relic, and then we just start clicking buttons. Okay, go, go, go. Man, this thing's too slow. Taking your time, buddy. Come on. Relic 3, 4, 5, 6. Those are seconds of my life that I want back. Do I want to use these precious materials? Nope, I don't. But I will because I have to. All right, upgrade. Everybody wants a Relic 6 Greedo. Nope, not really. Greedo's cool, though, right? Like, he's got the cool, he's got the cool no-scope, shoot till you can't shoot no more. Potency up chance goes from 55. Do we care about potency? Yeah, he's got something that removes turn meter, right? So we'll need that. Threaten. Ooh, it's a Zeta. Sabotage. 10% turn meter gain. We'll take that. Leader. We don't plan to have him in leader, and we'll take this. Sure, we'll finish that off. Okay, and his mods need help, but we'll help him someday. That day is not today. All right. Mob Enforcer got pulled to the front of the queue trying to build Krayt teams. So here we go. I want to have a good Krayt contribution if my guild decides to poke around in there. Of course, wasn't happy with my contribution last time around. I did okay. I did better than some of the other people in the guild who I honestly thought would make more contribution. But hey, I'm not complaining. Not judging. I'm just saying I feel like I get a tiny pat on the back for myself. Oh, I clicked the button too fast. Okay, so Mob Enforcer went to Relic 4 by accident. We only needed that at Relic 3. Yep. Things happen sometimes. All right, so what is all this? Yeah, sure, it's just an Omicron. That's a lot of words. What is it? 15% damage, 40% chance to gain bonus. Yep, sure, that's a lot of words. Here we go. Down. That's a lot of words. You know, if things have a lot of words, they're probably worth putting the Omega on. You know what? If we're making this a crate team, we probably have to do this, right? Boop. Do we have to boop? You know what? I will Relic 5 if it's relevant at the time. If I get all this team to Relic 5, then I think I have to Relic 5 the whole team. I'm not sure if it will get Relic 5 participation, but I'll open myself up to the idea that it might work. So probably Mob Enforcer has to go to Relic 5. All right, the other next thing on the journey is this Leia, who we're going to promote. And we're going to slam the gear onto before we do anything else, because we don't want to miss out on this opportunity. Bam! We got one of those already farmed up. Look at that. This is bad, though. Holy cow. Med packs, computers. This is med packs too. Oh dear. All right, this might not be a next week kind of relic. This might be a 2 week out kind of relic. I'll be able to farm up this stuff for sure, but I am missing a lot of medipex and computers for getting this done. Zoiks. All right, but you know, gear 12 on Boosh. Satisfied with that. What does he need? Okay, we've got enough for another golden eyeball, so let's slam him to gear 12 as well. Rockin' and rollin'. Skiff Guard Lando needs Kyros. This is going to be our Kyro for the week. Assemble, equip. I have enough for another Kyro. I'm not going to apply it. I'm not going to apply it. We'll wait until next week. We'll stick to the plan. 1 Kyro per week. Fennec. What does Fennec need? Kyro. I should have put the Kyro here. 2 Kyros this week? A 2 Kyro week? Everything's green. Click. 2 Kyro week it is. All right. We're ahead of schedule by 1. I can skip a week in the future and not feel guilty. Aura Singh done. Man, I tell you what, farming that cantina on double drops. Aura Singh just shards flew into the. Look at this, guys. Look at this journey. 6 relics done. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 relics left to go. Gear 12s. Looking good. Skiff Guard almost done. Do we have enough money to build a Jawa? We really don't. I missed out on the fact that you could buy credits for the new raid tokens. So I'm going to need to do that next week and pump my economy. Slam the gas pedal on the old economy. All right, that's the journey stuff. Let's get into squads and take a look at second tier work. See if anybody else just has a bunch of green pluses. Look at Bastila. She's upgradable. This is my last stun gun, though. So if we look at everybody that needs a stun gun, who in here is critical to my success? Aura Singh. We'll have a stun gun for her next week. Ooh. Piet. Yeah, it needs a billion golden eyeballs, though we can't afford those. We need those on journey characters. Okay, Bastila. Making my Jedi Knight Luke team better. Let's go. Old Republic. Making my contribution to Krayt Raid better. Boy, that's a lot of stun guns. Yoicks. No Kyros, but a lot of stun guns. That's her gear 12, though. Wow. Wow. Tuskens. Tusken Raider. Boop. Let's go. Nice. Okay, so we're still continuing to build up these Tuskens a little bit. Just for completion and all the challenges and everything else that want me to have momentum and whatnot. Okay. Is that it? I'm reluctant to click on any Inquisitors because I feel like the Inquisitors are not the thing for me anymore, right? Focus on the Krayt raid, and we'll get back to that once we get Krayt raid. Then we'll worry about Sith raid, or not Sith raid, but Third Sister. All right, let's give him another gear upgrade or two. Get that to gear 8. Again, just garbage Tuskens, but this is going to allow me to put mods on them later and potentially get better, you know, just one more tier of that challenge, the Galactic Challenge that needs him or something is now on the menu. We'll just tickle it, right? We'll just put some resources down there, tickle it up a little bit. All right, we'll get set over on mods, and then we'll take a look at chat here and try to catch up a little bit with chatting. For anybody who wants to know my mod filters, once we start going through here, you know what? I don't think there's going to be much to do in mods. Never mind, because we farmed, we farmed mostly other stuff. There's a few mods in here. We'll go through it. But for anybody who wants to see my mod filters and how I use them and all that stuff, it's all in my Mod Mastery series. Just search by Loquid or Mod Mastery and it'll come right up and you'll be able to use it. All right, let's cut. Oh, good. Great. Your chat's going crazy. I love you guys. You guys are so fantastic. What a great community you are. I love this. All right. Something new coming someday is no reason to give up on what we have right now. Relic 8 Jabba will be useful forever. That's a nice way of putting it, Tyler Holt. Hey, DL, I recommend you go for Ray after you recommended that I go for Ray after Executor with SLKR done. Do you know the Zeta order for the Zori team? I don't. I don't know. I know that getting Zori kitted out is really a key to it. Is there a Zeta on Rose Tico that's important? The Fin Poe team works with no Zetas. You don't have to have any Zetas on those characters to make that team already good. So just to be clear, if there's any Zetas needed, it's going to be on Rose or Zori. So I'd start with those characters because I used Fin Poe on my main account for a long time with no Zetas on the characters anywhere. That's why ultimately I decided to go for Jabba, says Whale Harder, bruh. Can get him in the next 5 months versus CN2, but my experience with just getting JMK Cat and GAC so far has been that I don't need another GL soon. Yeah, nice way of putting it. Shark says, I have 45 Malgus shards. It's rough. Yeah. Oh, I got 60. I'm so much better off. I have to refresh Malgus once a month, and for in proving grounds for the next 6 months, it will take me to get the Fury Interceptor to get him 7 stars in time, and then hoping for Leviathan within 6 months, says Graham Case. I'll build the Love Boat eventually, says Just Another Consumer. My only hope of ever getting above top 20 in my Ancient Fleet Shard. Ancient Fleet Shard. Let's see. Fleet is insane with the changes. Relic 8 Piet and Fett just isn't in the cards to get Executor. I mean, if you watch my starter guide, Executor, Relic 8, it's always on the menu. Guys, I did the Profundity, and I think during my Profundity journey, my guild was just getting the pit raid under control, and I think I got 7 arrow magnifiers from the pit raid during that build. Maybe I got a second set of 7, but I think that was after I'd already bought them all. So I bought everything I needed for Profundity, a Relic 8 and a Relic 9, with crystals, free to play, by managing my farms and my refreshes and all that stuff. I did less refreshes on fleet and cut back a refresh on mods and managed my crystals, and I bought everything I needed for Relic 8 and Relic 9. So don't just throw it out the window and say C-Pit's gone so I can't do Relic 8. That's not true. Don't forget Jabba also contributes to Smuggler's Run 2, which is a huge boost for mods. Yeah. I haven't played that event yet. That is a very good point. Very valid point. Just another consumer says he's an income source. Hard to skip. Jack Vinny Loom says, DL, that video today was a breath of fresh air. I appreciate the injection of positivity during a time everyone wants to be negative. Do you guys have any idea how hard it is to publish a video like that? I'm not whining, but I'm just saying I put the numbers together, and when I did, they surprised me. And I put the video together honestly saying I didn't expect this, but it looks fair. And to put out an unpopular opinion like that, man, when I clicked publish on that video, I was just like, the next couple days are just, it's going to be a sea of negativity. I have to rise above it. I have to admit, I've not been entirely successful in doing that. But thank you for your comment. That means a lot to me to hear that at least some people saw it in the right way. And the message wasn't, here's math, we're all okay. The message is, here's the math, it's better than you think, but this token 3 is still a huge problem. Here's what I suggest to fix it. So somehow I think my message got lost for some people who were micromanaging the math maybe. But yeah, the message is not so much around the math as it is around there's no resolution without giving token 3 to characters, to people at a lower galactic power. Those tokens can't be gated behind high performance in the crate rate. It's not fair. That's what we have to fix. We have to get token 3 pushed all the way down to the very lowest box in the personal contribution so that anybody who's trying in that raid can get token 3, can get relic materials to continue building crate raid teams or whatever teams. I don't think the message wasn't, I think the new system is fair. The message is, I think the new system can be fixed if we fix the personal track. I also think that calculating out how many teams we need to get in the crate raid and how it all has to work, I really think that we need one more tag available to us. I just don't think most guilds are going to get there with the tags that are there now, being how you have to build a Jawa team or a Tusken team, which is really super inefficient for a mid-game account. Old Republic, I don't mind. Mandos are okay. Hutt Cartel, Jabba the Hutt, it's all okay. But if I need a 5th team, choosing between Tuskens and Jawas is just, it's an ice pick in my eye. I don't want it. I don't want it. All right. Will Harder says, I haven't watched it yet, but I suspect it'll say a lot of what I've been saying. The loss of Get 1 and Get 2 arrows hurt, but in terms of how much Gear 12 purple gear you can get now and gear you need, it's a huge improvement. Yeah, well, that's the message. That's the message. The compensation in total is somewhere around even. Boris Balkan says Greedo is such a trash character. 26 scanners from doing the relics with Mon Mothma and starting JML Ticket Farm. He's good at catching blaster bolts? Question mark. Yeah, he shoots second. The second half of the Jabba Rex hurt. All right. Tyler Holt says, wow, Obticeo is flying through the Jabba journey. Yeah. Yeah, it feels... The double drop week was good to me. That was good progress. I love those clicks. Master says it's my account. Good. It's a little older than Obticeo, struggled with the old fleet shard, dropped it, stopped playing when they introduced fleet. Picked it up at 70 and found you on YouTube. That's cool. I was already rushing Jabba on my old account, says Dank. Always credit poor. Okay, got to skip some of this chat here. Sorry if I'm missing important stuff. But we gotta keep moving with the update. Bazinga says, since the Gear 12 gear is cheap with the Mark II currency, is it worth replacing the gear you farm with fleet energy? Also, the spare shard drop currency used for golden eyeballs. Okay, so initial look. If you use the token 2 to purchase materials that can be broken down and scavenged for relics, or if you buy the materials for token 2 that you can use to buy relics, then you can use your fleet energy to farm things like hollow lenses that you need for Zimbital cards. You can't directly buy Zimbital cards with the token 2, but I started looking at that and it just got too deep for me to go into with the video that I tried to put out today. But an initial look, it's okay. It's okay. In theory, what it's going to do is free up more fleet energy, and with that fleet energy, we'll farm more stuff for Zimbital cards and keypads. So I can't say yet whether or not it's good or fair or we come out on top spending the token 2 like that. But I think that's what it comes down to. You're going to be able to get stuff to Relic 7 pretty well now. Just with the token 1 and token 2. Because with the token 2, you can exchange it for gear. You can use your fleet energy to farm for the Zimbital card materials. I don't know how it all works out in the end. But at an initial glance, it looks fair. So I think our Relic cycles are going to be faster than ever. I think we're locked out of Relic 8s. I think that sucks. I think that people in the mid-game not having access to arrow magnifiers in Relic 8 is bull. Okay? I don't like that. The rest of it, I think we're better off than we've ever been. Even with the Kyros, you know, if you take it in this way and you say, okay, we're getting less Kyros now. Yeah, but they just gave us more Kyros, right? They gave us another currency type, the Mark III currency for the new territory battle. Most guilds are doing the new territory battle. You're getting that. You're getting more Kyros. So they gave it to us in the territory battles. They took it away in the raids. We're about where we were before they made the territory battle change, which isn't horrible. I don't know. I think it's okay. I think not only is it okay, but I think relicking things to Relic 7 is going to be easier now. You can either relic more stuff to Relic 3 to 5 faster, or you can build stuff to Relic 7 by converting those materials. I hope that makes sense. Arva says, to be honest, I'm fine with the faction lock. Not every new player needs to have 5 teams for it, as long as they have 1 to 3. The problem is that 1 million points right now is not even close to enough for the raid to be worth running. Somebody responded to my video and said, look, I like the idea of adding bounty hunters, and furthermore, bounty hunters should always be viable. And wouldn't that be brilliant, right? Wouldn't that be a calming effect on the community? You know what? Forever after, bounty hunters can do any raid. Because honestly, they're bounty hunters. You can hire them and bring them in on any raid you want to. So we see that there's some kind of at least in-game story for why. If you build a bounty hunter team, you're safe. You'll always have a contribution to a raid. That is brilliant. I love that concept. It's even better than my idea of adding bounty hunters to this raid, but just to say that bounty hunters are your raid teams. And then always, you can start out with a contribution. And I can say to new players, relic your bounty hunters. And it'll always be useful. I love that idea. I can't take credit for the idea. That was just a comment that I read, and I was like, man, that's right. Would you rather 18 8,000 crystals worth of training droids or 17,000 crystals worth of Gear 12 gear, says Darth Glizzy. That's funny. Until I get my Jabba, I'll buy all the Gear 12 and credits with Mark 1. Yeah, Gear 12 and credits with Mark 1. Perfect. Yep. TK says Jabba is the answer. Dank Ideal says, I went through profundity. I'm lacking on Jedi Knight Luke. My question is, worth stop farming, get 2 ships, and use my crystals to buy Hermit, Wampa, Rolo, or crystals are terribly bad deal? Honestly, I've suggested this to people before. If you have money to spend in the game and you're willing to spend it, I think for Hermit, Yoda, Wampa, there is a pack that you can buy that's got random of those characters in it. If you go to the Journey Guide, and the person who asked this question, I'm sure, is going to know this answer already. But for anybody who might not know, when you go to these Journey Guides, they actually have Journey packs, and you go shop for requirements. And you can get this pack for 1,500 crystals, and you get random of one of the characters you need. And unfortunately, one of them is Han. But let's say you didn't have Wampa, you didn't have Hermit Yoda, you didn't have Rolo, you needed all 3 of those. Coming in here, clicking this button, buying a bunch of these packs, it's not terribly efficient. You do have a chance to get lucky. And while you need everything on this list, everything that you get is useful. And you average something like 15 shards. So it's like 100 cost per shard, which isn't great. But it gets you these characters without having to spend those currency types. So this is, in my opinion, a time thing. You only buy these with crystals if you want to save time. Otherwise, the efficient thing to do is always to wait. To wait and buy them with the right currency out of the shop and not pay for them, right? That's the efficient way to do it. But if you want to do it faster, this is the way to do it faster. You buy these crystals, and if you hit one of these characters and it goes straight to 330, as soon as you've got one of these characters done, then you got to stop buying the shards. Well, if you got Han done, that's different. But once one of these characters is done, you're done buying shards. Because at that point, if you duplicate and hit the same character again, you're spending 100 per shard for stuff that's going to the shard shop, and that's a complete waste. So done in the right way and done carefully, it makes sense. But a lot of people have built Wampa, and if you already have built Wampa and already have him relic, then it really makes it hard to recommend that pack. So yes, it's good to do, but be careful with it. Caution. I recommend caution. If you could go back in time, would you have gone for Rey instead of Jabba? My answer used to be yes. My answer was, yeah, I think it... I built the clones on this account to try to get into a better guild and try to prove a point around that. And I spent, 5 relics on something that wasn't part of a journey. And then I went for profundity instead of finishing out to gas. So I think if I had built straight into profundity by the route that I laid out in Hope of Rebellion, then going into Rey, then going into Jabba, I think really would have been the right path. But I think because I spent so long building other characters that weren't part of a journey before I got profundity, then there was no time for me to go into Rey. I had to go straight for Jabba. So I think, again, what I've learned from building the Obticeo account is applied in my new journey guides. And I do think that if I was building an account today and I was kind of at that profundity stage, I would build Rey first. And then whatever Galactic Legend comes out next, I would jump on that train hardcore. And I would immediately farm the next Galactic Legend. Whatever's announced next, get on that train and ride. Because it'll be the same thing, and they'll build a raid around it eventually. We got to hope that that's the cycle. Okay. Master says, if bounty hunters are viable, I have 2 R8 squads. Ray is so weak without Ben Solo, unless you have a plan or a whale for him. Ray is better as a 2nd or 3rd GL. I have a different opinion, Juan Sanchez, and again, it depends on where you're at in the game. If you only have 1 GL and it's Ray, she does really well even without Ben Solo. If you're in Kyber 2 and you're trying to beat up other Galactic Legends, she's weak against other Galactic Legends without Ben Solo. So there's very different ways. People who are, further into the mid-game, 6 million, 8 million accounts, Ray doesn't look that appealing. But for somebody for whom Ray is your first GL, trust me, she's a monstrosity. She doesn't need Ben Solo to be monstrous. And you can go all the way up through Chromium, and I would bet that if I built a Ray team and tuned it, that all the way up through Chromium, I bet that team would go undefeated till I got into Erodium. Nobody would get through it without Ben Solo. Just because players don't have good mods and good character building at that level, and you'll go through Chromium with 1 GL. All right, I got to get back in here. We did the arrow sort. Let's filter these gray mods. Okay. Okay, no mod selected. Come on. I'll upgrade these to 6. Let's see what we get. We will kick out the ones that have crit damage and sell everything that didn't hit speed. Then we will go back to the gray mod sort. Only one with crit damage. Let's get that to 12. Still nothing. Crit damage offense. Oh man, it's got good stats. These stats are good, but I don't think I'll use it. With no speed anywhere, I just don't think I'll use it. Let's slice some gray mods here. Wow. We've only got 2 gray mods that are even worth looking at. And this is crit avoidance. I don't really need any more of those. Okay, so we've got 1 mod to slice in grays. I didn't farm enough mods this week. We farmed slicing materials all week because of the double drops. Well, for all the days of the double drops. So let's skip mods for this week. I'll slice this mod up and then we'll get back to mods next week. Yeah, 1 swing, 1 miss, and I don't think it's worth it. Well, we don't have datacrons to do either. So with no mods, no datacrons, the only thing we've got left to look at here is ships. Let's get into ships. Ship. Holy ship. What does Ahsoka need? She's got 3 dots built up here. Oh boy, she needs everything. This is a really hard-hitting skill. Let's go ahead and put all the damage on that. I've needed that a couple times to take out a ship. This, that's not urgent. Okay, so we'll pump her up a little bit. TIE Defender, is there anything more we can do here? Let's look at Iden Versio. Maybe we can give her a gear. Nope. Needs Kyro's already at gear 8. So she'll be waiting a long time. She'll be gear 8 for a long time. Okay, nothing else to see here. That's ships. They're all at 85. Stuff, things, junk. One thing I will say, with the reduced amount of credits and us having to go back and buy credits, accounts reached some point in the past where the credit income would kind of overflow, and you could start looking at this mod store as a place to get mods. I think now with the loss of that, 400,000 a week on fleet materials and having to buy our credits instead of getting them for free, we won't have that credit overflow anymore. And I think buying mods out of the shop is off the menu until the end game. You'd have to convert 600 times 4, 2,400 of the type 1 currency for 1 mod. And that just seems It seems a bridge too far. So yeah, the mod shop is pretty much obsolete now, in my opinion, for efficient gameplay. All right, let's take a look at Mastifer. Mastifer. All right, let's look. Let's see what you got. Yings. Ooh, what's that guild name? Reigning Struppa Todestern. Man, I'm so bad at foreign names. Sounds German, yeah? All right, ships 1.7, characters 2.3, Galactic War Battles 165. So yeah, like the Obticeo account. A couple months older. Hey, Executor, number 13. Rock and roll. Love to see that. When I see number 13, I just assume that you know, when it's time for your fleet placement, you're... No relics. No relics on man, Grievous. I love relicking Grievous. Like he's such a good character to hit up to relics. I know he's not part of your plan, but I would at least gear 11. At least gear 11 so you can max out this skill. You definitely want to get that skill maxed out on this fleet. And maybe you just unlocked it. I see that it's at 5 stars, level 55. Probably you're working on it. But yeah, I would race Grievous to gear 11. Because that skill is only based on his gear tier. So as soon as you put him at gear 11, no matter what the rest of your ship looks like, you can have that. Never mind. You may have to have the ship at 85 in order to do that. But it's definitely worth it. All right, we got Geos at gear 12. Ooh, check that out. That's a lot of TIE Defender shards. 6 stars going on 7. That's nice. Hyena Bomber done. Rebel Y-Wing done. BTLB started. This is good. Look at this. Man, I love it. I love it. Here's a hug for you, man. Hug. Definitely got some fleet going on here. Good stuff. All right, character-wise, let's take a look at it. Let's go back to that super chat, remind ourselves what it was that you were looking for. I wonder if you might roast my roster. My second time spending money on the game. All right. Let's see. We got Vader, Piet, Luke. Oh, Jedi Knight Luke's in the account already. Okay. Going for Jabba. I see a Relic 6 Greedo, so I'm assuming this means Jabba. So we've got the Executor. We're going into Jabba. It's a very relevant build on the account, right? We got Vader, Piet. I like to have a second trooper other than Piet Relic, and I don't see another trooper in here. I mean, with Relic Piet, you've got certainly the Challenge Tier 1 done, probably working on Challenge Tier 2 stuff. Bastila Fallen. So we've got Knight Revan. Do we also have Darth Revan Malik? Darth Revan. Okay. Okay. That all makes sense. Got Treya with the Omicron. Got Wampa done Relic 3 with the Omicron. Yeah, building up Grievous to gear 12 is an opportunity. I think much like the Obticeo account, I think there's a lot of things. There's so much stuff that I could say. Well, you could do this. Well, you could do that. Well, you could. But honestly, I think just straight to Jabba the Hutt. You know, straight to Jabba the Hutt. Once you get Jabba, probably the first 2 characters that I would relic, Savage Opress and Jedi Knight Anakin. And probably in that order. Savage, if you like GAC, gets you wins in GAC, does so much cool stuff. He kills CLS teams. He's fantastic. Jedi Knight Anakin is just too good of a relic to pass up. You can use him in a Padme team, in a Qui-Gon team. Just a relic Jedi Knight Anakin with a bunch of garbage already kills tons of stuff in Grand Arena. It works well in Conquest. It's Jedi Knight Anakin. One of the reasons I love this character so much, his kit is so simple. He's got this big attack, and he's got this basic attack with 2 good debuffs on it. You've got potency on your cross, potency offset, perfect. Land those nasty debuffs off of his basic, hit people like a freight train with this skill. His kit is just so simple and so effective. I like it. I love the feel of a character that does what he does. So that to me would be the first 2. And then, you know, look to finish out like a Fennec team with the Bounty Hunters. Look to finish out your Jedi Knight Luke team. And then you've got Darth Revan. You'll probably want to finish out the Revan team. So to me, it looks like, you know, straight into Jabba. Then, you know, do some balancing. And then decide if you want to do more Krayt teams. But yeah, I don't think your rosters needs roasting. I think what you're doing makes sense to me. I look at your account. I see what you're building. I think it makes sense. 348 Piet. Man. I don't know if you want an account roaster, if you just wanted to flex. 332 on Hermit Yoda. Come on, man. 328 on Bosk. Wow. All right, so I expected to see a couple characters with good mods, but we just got a chain of characters with fantastic mods. Look at this, 290 without a speed set on Luke. Yeah, there's no roasting here. You're doing great, man. Keep up the good work. Get through Jabba, balance things out, keep on chugging. I've only got a couple minutes left, and then I'm really going to have to hang it up for tonight, guys. Dank Ideals sent me his account, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to go look at Dank Ideals stuff. But that's it. Then I got to go, guys. I got another commitment that I have to meet, and I got to get out of here and get over there. Danky McDankerton. Rogues of Bane, 3.3 million galactic power, 1.3 in ships, 1.9 in characters. Galactic War Battles, 138, not even a year old. This account's like 9 months old. You're not out of Carbonite yet. Huh. Interesting. Is it that you kind of don't care about GAC, I assume? Or is it, are you actually having a problem getting through Carbonite? I'm really curious, and I don't mean to sound judgmental, but I know there's a lot of garbage accounts that are just sitting in Carbonite that are hard to get through, wade through the trash. So I'm curious to know if you just don't prioritize it or if it's really that challenging. Profundity only. Interesting. So you chose not to get the Negotiator or the Malevolence. That's an interesting choice. I certainly would have gone for Malevolence before I spent my Get To on something else. All right, let's read here. Enjoyed your raid video. Small goal is Grand Inquisitor, well, Jedi Knight Luke farming, then to JML. Would enjoy a roast. Okay, well, if you want a roast, where are your capital ships? I understand that there's a lot of fun stuff that you can buy for Get To, but until you get those ships, at least get them unlocked at 5 stars. Just get them into your account. They're so good, even at 5 stars, they eclipse most of the rest of what you can build. You've got the profundity to get your fleet placement. That's great. But for Grand Arena and a lot of other reasons, you do want to have the Malevolence and Negotiator. So whatever you're doing with that currency, I would definitely say get it focused on those. Vulture Droid, probably hyperdrive to that level. Yeah, it's worth building the Hyena and the Vulture and getting the Malevolence fleet up and running for sure. Negotiator's good, but at least get them unlocked to 5 stars. Once you get them unlocked at 5 stars, you can choose to do other things. Star Killer's first big journey. First character journey, I should say. So we've got a Star Killer team in the house. That's pretty fantastic. Got some Visa Smart Gear 12, so the Star Killer team may be carrying some Gear 12 characters still. I guess we can look at what he's doing in Squad Arena. That probably tells the tale. Oh, Radisson Squad. Okay, yeah, that's good. And built a tank. See, I didn't do that. I really should have done that. I really should have built a tank for this team. It's worth it having a tank in the Radish squad. So that's good. That's smart. Yeah, so Star Killer into Profundity. And now you're going to get Grand Inquisitor and go for Jedi Knight Luke. That's fair. That's fair. I think that's fair. Be prepared, though. Like we were talking about before, be prepared that if they introduce a new galactic legend somewhere in the middle of Jedi Knight Luke, I would finish out the Jedi Knight Luke, and then I would question whether it's smarter to go for Jedi Master Luke at that point or switch to the new content. So be ready for that pivot. I wouldn't put all of your eggs in the JML basket. If you get there, it's great. If something else comes out that you need to chase, consider it. Take a look at it. But yeah, it's good. Some pretty dank ideals you got, my friend. All right. Dank Ideal says, I won 5-0. I keep facing 2 and 3 million accounts over me. That's why I'm struggling for Hermit and Wampa and Rolo. I don't care for squad, but casual gear. I spend on Kyros. That doesn't bother me with the $5 packs. Mods. Okay. A very quick look at mods, and then we got to go. 316 on Radis. That's pretty good. And I'll set my expectations for an account that's 9 months old. 302 on Mara Jade. It's okay. Dash 275. Okay, so we're dropping off pretty fast. Let me tell you what. Let's take a look at mod quality. 17 speed, 19, 16. Yeah, see, this one's only got 10 speed. This is the conundrum, guys. You got these mods like this with only 2 speed rolls. I wouldn't want to 6-dot that, but when you're so early in the game, it might be that this is all you have. So I get that if it's a good triangle, you might want to 6-dot it. But like this one on the square, for 9 speed, I wouldn't invest 6 dots into that mod. That doesn't meet my quality standards. Overall, I see less 6-dot mods than I would hope for out of a 9-month account. I feel like maybe your Galactic Challenge participation isn't getting you the box 8. You really got to fight through to get that box 8 every time that challenge comes out that you can do it. Because the amount of 6-dot mod materials you get out of there is really worth it. It's really worth it. So your mods aren't bad, but I would say you definitely need a strategy for picking what to 6-dot and getting more 6-dot slicing materials. Take a look at Vader real quick. Yeah, 9 speed. 16 is okay. 6. This is rough. That's rough. Yeah, so be careful where you're spending those 6-dot materials. That's all I got, guys. I gotta go. I gotta go now. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Sorry for the people who didn't get their comments acknowledged, but I got a jet. I got other commitments. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Love this community. I'll catch you in the next holocron.